Okay, here we are. Halloween 2023, Las Vegas, Nevada. This year, if you remember last year, I just had the three themes, didn't really have a name for it. This year I actually have a name and a logo. It's going to be called Charnel 13. We introduced a fifth theme this year. In addition to the kind of four from last year, we had the asylum, the cemetery, the carnival, kind of a harvest with that little corner, and then that was it. Well, this year there's actually a full five things. We have a full harvest this year, and then there's also going to be a witch's altar, which is why my banner has that witch's altar logo in the background to kind of help promote that. So I'll start out over here. Just like last year, we got the little swinging ghost girl in the tree here. I liked her here. She swung really well. Unfortunately, as I described in my video last year, I was lucky to have her working as long as she has since I bought her from 2009. However, this year, her head still moves back and forth and she still makes the sound and her eyes light up, but she wasn't swinging anymore. Her little swinging mechanism burned out. Well, I went to Spirit Halloween this morning, mainly to try to buy some of their floor displays, but I got lucky and found one last swinging mechanism in box on the shelf, so I bought that, swapped it out, and now I got her working again. So that's good. After 14 years, if that's the only thing that's got out on her, I guess I'll take it because at least that part was replaceable. And then up here this year, we're going to have a black spotlight on her instead of an orange one. Home Depot really came out with some awesome stuff this year, including these tombstones. All these tombstones here, high quality. There's more in the cemetery, but these are the ones with the moss on them. So I went ahead and just did a little moss side theme last year because this theme over here really wasn't anything. It was just an animatronic in a tree with an orange spotlight. Since these tombstones do have moss on them, went ahead and ordered this Spanish moss, fake of course, but I just hung it throughout the whole tree, going down on the bark and stuff too. Really just creates a full scene over here now. And then we got the Ring Around the Rosie ghost children back there. And then there is a fog machine for them that's also set on a strobing light, so it kind of makes it look like a little thunder lightning storms going on back here. And the fog juice in it is the quick burst from Froggies, and it disappears almost instantly. So, and I like that because that's more ghostly rather than high hang time. Okay, then we'll head into the asylum. Got the same little asylum entry sign from last year and all this freaky fabric. When we go through the freaky fabric, the first thing you're going to get hit with is Peekaboo Penny right at the entrance here. She goes off with her sensor every single time you walk by it that close. So she'll activate every time. And then we got the same Victorian era pictures from last year. Got this black lighting on the wall everywhere, lots of black lights in here, just like last year. It really is my favorite color scheme for asylums. All the tools again from this year, except for this year I found this bloody saw as well. That's new. And then here we got Evelyn Leach. Now this year, because of the cartoony little head she's holding, I decided to go a little different with her look. And rather than her just being sad over her dead husband, I wanted to make it look like she killed her husband. So now she's holding a bloody knife, and I added the blood all up and down her dress. And so I think she looks pretty cool now, like she was the one that killed him and is now regretting it. These IV stands this year, I had to use them as pole supports last year for these walls because the walls were so weakly built. I built much stronger walls this year, so now these IV stands can actually be free, roaming around the way that they're supposed to. If you guys remember in my tour video last year, I had said how my convulsing nurse does not work anymore. And I got fortunate this year over the summer that on eBay, actually, I found a user that was selling an original floor model display one from back in the day, because even had Spirit's display box versus a retail box. Said it was working, so I took a chance, made him an offer, and he accepted it, sent it to me. I built her, plugged her up, and she is working. So this is great. We now have her finally. And I added this neck chain to her as well, with giving her room to thrash, of course, so she doesn't pull it down. But I actually think she looks much better with that. And then we got the gauze fabric behind her as well. It's a great backdrop for her. Here in the main room, got a fog machine back there that comes through the Ghost Twins. And then, of course, we got Double Trouble. And then we got John Doe. He sits up This year it was a little dark in this room last year, so there's a spotlight this year. And then we got all the hanging body parts. Down here on this table, we got the ghost book and the lamp, another IV stand, and over here, we got the Ouija board. The haunted TV is up there. And last year, that was just used for storage and completely blocked off. You could not go that way. Got the electric wires there. This year, I actually made a little tunnel out of it. So we go through here. There's freaky fabric in your way. There's gonna be a strobe light right there going off. And you just keep walking through. It's pretty simple. Got a blood splattered wall, some more freaky fabric. It's tight in here, so you can't do a whole lot. And then you exit through this gauze, and then you're into the God Ends Here room. Or if we backtrack, you don't have to go that way if you don't want to. You can just go the normal way. Hit my head on all these syringes, and I just got hit again. And then we go through this freaky fabric, and then here we are in this room. And then, just like last year, we got some black light reaction spray everywhere, the upside down crosses. We got the floating ghost girl, who, whether you come out from there or on this side, will trigger her. Had to double support her this year, though, just because of the fact that people can bump into her from coming out of there. So just had to tie her down extra good, make sure she's not going anywhere, but she's working as advertised. Got the levitating girl here, and then we end with a broken spine girl over here. And just like last year, they all kind of continuously trigger each other, so that's always a good thing. And now we're going to exit out through here, and we turn into the harvest. Now this year, I actually wanted to make a full theme out of it. So we got these corn stalks on the both sides that as soon as you walk through, it kind of gives you that corn maze feel. We got much more straw bales going on, much more pumpkins going on. And then the entire pathway is covered in the straw and these fall leaves as well. So it actually looks like a full-on pumpkin patch on here. Every single one of these pumpkins lights up. Got a windmill back here that was brand new metal. I mean, it didn't have the right look, so I rusted the hell out of it so it looks right. And got those crows on there as well. The crows look nice, give it a nice touch. And then we got a live actor scarecrow this year, so there's a platform there that he'll be standing on. And then over here, I think the corn stalks actually work great as a backdrop for the strawman. And then he's got all of his pumpkins right out, got the same orange spotlight as last year. A lot of these were Lowe's and Home Depot pumpkins. They really stepped up the pumpkin game this year as well. I like a lot of them. I think they're creepy, and they have cool lighting effects. And then we got the pumpkin carver here. She was over there last year just because there was nothing there, and she really wasn't working because of the leveling issues with the ground going flat there. She's working perfectly right here with the flat ground, so we like it. And then there's the Circus Freaks sign. We got the spotlights there. There's a red and black on that one, and then red and black up here on this as well. And then this is the same carnival entryway from last year. We got the freak show performances. We got the Welcome to the Fun House. This year I went with these pool noodles as kind of a freaky fabric style entryway for this, but in a different kind of carnival way. And I went with just black and red as the those are kind of more demonic carnival colors. Coming in here, the first thing we'll see, just like last year, is Lucky Bottoms. And then this year we put the popcorn machine over there. Actually got some popcorn in it this year. We tossed it in some dirt with some fake blood as well. Just kind of gave it that look. It's all over the ground and stuff. Wheels broken off there. All sorts of good stuff. Just make it look like it's here for a while. We got that same little twisty red light back there that I really like, which kind of hits this and gives it an entire, dizzy kind of style light like that, which is really cool. And then over here, I added the addition of this concession stand because of Heckles. Now, I got really lucky with Heckles. Before I found out about the recall due to his deformities, I went into the local spirit here, the first day they opened, which was August 5th, and I found him in box, just right there out in front, bought him, got him home, built him, found out a week later that there was a massive recall and all sorts of issues. So he is actually a pre-recalled one, and he works and looks great. Up here in the concession stand, added these little clown masks as well, just to kind of give it a little bit more of that concession look and feel. There's a flickering light back there as well, which is a good touch on that. And then for Xlll, since he sells balloons, we got some balloons up there, balloons over here, just kind of helps create more of that look. Just like last year, we got all these garlands and string lights going all over the place, and the way that they're angled upwards towards where Harriet Hustle is just makes it look like a carnival tent in here. And then this year I moved Bag of Jokes out in front here. His sensor just works a lot better here, and he goes off a lot more. Plus on top of that, I think he was just too hidden last year. And I wanted to keep everybody away from Whack-A-Mole, and I'll explain why in a second. We got poor George over here. It's new for this year. Got the same hanging clown. And then we got Harriet Hustle. Kept her sensor right on the bar exactly where it was last year, and it keeps just re-triggering her so she goes off all night. I think that's perfect. I don't like the use of step pads, or if you have to sit there and clap to make a noise. And then this year we got Whack-A-Mole here. And this corner's actually dark like it was last year. The string lights and the carnival lights, the red lights and stuff, just don't make their way back here. So this year I decided to use that to my advantage by putting a black light reactive character here. His entire outfit glows in UV reactive black light. So we got one right up there that completely shines down here and makes this entire area, including him, just completely glow. And then we got the thrashing clown here. Because of the fact that he wasn't really working that much at all last year. I mean, like at all. I didn't even bother hooking him up this year because, first of all, I ran out of adapters. I fell short by one adapter, so if there's anyone I'm going to cut out of here, it's him. But he still makes a good just clown prop to just sit in a chair and be creepy, so it's all right to have him there. And then we also added a funhouse mirror this year. Kind of helps complete the scene a little bit. Can't have a carnival without a funhouse. So last year was just the entryway tent and the popcorn machine. This year we now have a funhouse and a concession stand, and several more characters in here. I really like the way the carnival turned out this year. It is awesome. And then this year, if you remember, there was just absolutely nothing going on down here. You just walked. There was like an annoying gate that was right here, and then you just walked down these blank walls until you got to the other side. So this year I decided to do something with it. So I created kind of like a black forest, because it leads up to the witch's altar, which is a cabin looking kind of interior. And so I had these backdrops printed up and shipped to me, and they look great, except for, and they hit your peripherals and stuff as you're walking through, but that's kind of all it was. There's no sense of realism without having to actually walk through some trees. So my main reason for going to Spirit this morning is because these trees were on the ISE, and there was a total of 4 of them. Well, I wasn't fortunate enough to get all 4, but I was able to pick up 2, and you know what, I'm very happy with the 2 I did get though. I manipulated the branches in a way to where you do have to weave through these trees, which gives you a sense of realism that you're walking through a forest, but at the same time there's like this little, almost creates like an archway to where it's like you know where to go. So that's the rest of the Black Forest. I think it came out awesome. And then as soon as you come out of the Black Forest, we got the brand new Witch's Altar. And then, so back here is the altar table itself. We got a witch's broom. We got this altar tablecloth cover. We got a Wicca bowl with some smudging sage. We got the black candles. There's black Wicca cats. And we got a Ouija board, crystal. And then up here, there's a light up pentagram. And then we got this skull chandelier, and then a skull pentagram. And then this mossy skull on this table here, which I really like. It just looks great because, you know, this rotten wood cabin that we got going on here, it's definitely bound to have some moss. And these ones, however, though, had that brand new wood look. So we use an acrylic paint. I kind of made them look like they were going bad and moldy and mossy as well to kind of match that one a little bit more. And then up here we got a fire and ice light. that has a setting that kind of matches the color of this, so it looks good. It's got like some green and some tan and some white and some brown all going at the same time, so it looks really nice in here. And then we got Lethal Lily, who is pretty much the sole reason why I started a Witch's Altar theme, because in the past I've never really found a witch prop that I liked. This year there was 2 animatronic witches that came out this year that I really like. So she is a floor model. I was not able to find one in box anywhere, and even multiple Home Depots didn't even have her on display anywhere. So I finally found a Home Depot that at least had her on display, so I bought her. Unfortunately, her weld in her arm kind of snapped, so that's why her arm's not exactly right, but it's going to hold for tonight at least. Otherwise, the main feature of her, which is her face, where she shifts her eyes, blinks, moves her mouth, all that works. Her staff lights up green. She is just really cool. And she's well placed to where you still get a clear shot of the altar. And then up here we added some more of that Spanish moss, and then I made these little bayou style lanterns out of mason jars, scratched them up with some sandpaper, colored them with acrylic paint, and then added a little flickering tea light candle in there, LED of course, not a real one, and then this black fabric on them. And then we come over here and they're on this column. And then as we go up here, it's all up there as well. And then we end the Witch's Altar with the Cauldroness. And she was pretty much a pain, in all reality, a nightmare to get to work right. Her hose in that potion bottle was actually like pinched shut when I first got set it up, so no fog was coming through there. But after tweaking her a little bit, I think everything came out really well. She works good. The original 400 watt fog machine I hooked her up with, though, did not keep up with how much fog she uses. So I replaced it with an 800 watt fog machine, and it seems to be going every single time. So we got that problem solved. And then we come out into the cemetery. Now, last year, I did say that I was going to do a lot more of the backdrops, and a lot more of the backdrops we did. So we'll start with the back wall. The entire back wall, which is 8 feet by 40 feet, is completely covered in this cemetery style background, and it just creates that. It's deep, it has that foggy feel, it's got trees. I mean, it just creates that real 3D depth that this just keeps going beyond the property line, so it looks really cool. I like it. And then we got cemetery room rolls to cover all the rest of the walls. Clearly not as detailed as the, or even anywhere near as high quality of photo as the one in the back, but it's better than just having blank walls there. So first we come to Man's Possessed Friend. That sensor works ridiculously well. Even if you try to walk around it, he still goes off, so it's going to be a good jump scare. I put a fog machine in there with him as well, which actually fills up his entire house with fog, and then as soon as he bursts his head through, all the fog just comes out with it, and it looks really cool. He kind of triggers the spider because at night his sensor's just starting to get weak. I mean, I've had him for 10 years, so it makes sense. I probably should buy a new one and update him. But he's not going off as often as he should. And this year I'm also having troubles with him kind of going off when he's supposed to as well. But the fog coming out of there is actually so powerful this year that the fog alone sometimes is just triggering him to move. So he's still coming up. And then back there, I got 3 fog machines this year going out here instead of 4, and I built fog chillers from them out of those little styrofoam coolers, and I have these ice packs that'll go in there, and then I'm using Froggy's freezing fog for in there. And then we got the Haunted Shovel Tombstone. Just like last year, we're going to activate it with a strobe light. And then we got the Bride in Black back there. All these tombstones here. Got another fog machine there. That one's got the swamp juice for some higher hang time. Also Froggies. And then back there, we got the Screaming Banshee, or the Twitching Banshee. Another fog machine with another chiller back there, and that one's got the freezing. We got our green spotlights and green LED laser lines there. That will create that swampy fog kind of out here. And then we got Menace and Molly back there. Got her to the point where she's just going off constantly as well, which is good. And then when you come over here, got a better use for these coffins this year. Rather than just sitting in a dark asylum where you couldn't see them, I decided to move him out to a cemetery and put him in front of the gravedigger. He's another one from Home Depot this year that just really stepped up Halloween. I would say that they are probably better than Spirit this year. But as he's pushing his shovel into the ground, it looks like he's digging holes for these coffins, so it was a good way to put these coffins here. And then we got a red spotlight back there that kind of shines on all this whole area. This is another thing that Home Depot did really well this year. I mean, they stepped up these kind of tombstones that you would just never have seen in the past. I mean, these are really, really cool. So I bought one of every single one that they came out with this year because they're just so different looking. They're really cool. They're good quality. They're plastic. They're heavy. They're not styrofoam. I mean, it's really incredible. Put my lanterns here this year. Got some more tombstones here. This one, just like last year, we're gonna activate it with a strobe light because that just turns it on every time. Got another weeping angel, and then this is another one from Home Depot. Just again, I mean, it's 4 feet tall. They just really did a good job this year. More lanterns, more tombstones. And then when everything's going out here, I mean, it is just incredible. The cemetery really came out cool this year. Got another couple of other characters out here as well. The animatronic count this year went from 23 from last year to 30 this year. So I increased by 7. And everything is ready to rock and roll. We're gonna be powering up everything here in just a couple of hours. And we will see you for the nighttime display video in about 9 hours from now. Hopefully you enjoyed all this, and we'll be looking forward to the nighttime video, as it's going to be much cooler, obviously.